Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Skeleton Key Tarot, and this is a tarot card reading for whoever needs to hear it. Regardless of your sign or your chart, there's something in this message for you. If you felt intuitively drawn to this reading, this is for you if it resonates, of course. If it resonates, then it's yours, okay? So let's begin. I feel called to do this. So we've got the Hierophant. So you could be a Taurus or dealing with a Taurus, but it doesn't have to be. This is about your belief system. This is about tradition and family and long-term, long-lasting practices. This is about guidance from a higher power. This is about learning and teaching and passing along those teachings that are like 1,000 years old. This is your ancestral knowledge that has been passed down to you, whether literally given to you by your parents, grandparents, or whatever, your ancestors, or in a very psychic, spiritual way that has survived in you because of your lineage, because of where you came from, because of where your ancestors came from, because of who you are. And this is deep, deep roots, these beliefs. And you could just be channeling your ancestors, channeling these ancient messages, this ancient wisdom that nobody's ever even told you before, but somehow you know it because Spirit is giving that message to you. Spirit is guiding you to those truths, to that knowledge, to that teaching, because you need to bring those teachings down to earth and give them to others and share them with others and be that vessel for transmitting that information, transmuting that spiritual knowledge into something grounded and practical. And yeah, this is like a calling. You're being called to be a teacher. Yeah, you're being given this guidance because you are meant to guide others. And this is ancient knowledge that maybe some systems of oppression, government, patriarchy, or whatever, certain systems of religion maybe don't want you to have or didn't want you to have. But it's time for a new era. It's time for a new age of enlightenment and liberty. And we are being liberated from these old ways that have kept us separated from the teachings of our ancestors, the true heritage, our true heritage, right? Those types of things that were taken from us and stolen from us and replaced with certain hierarchical institutions that were imposed on us, but were not natural and not organic. They were imposed on us by the sword, by the burning times, by persecution and torture. Basically, certain groups went through certain different things. Depends on your own ancestry, your own background. You will know better than I. But each and every group went through something. None of it is organic. None of it is natural. None of it's real. It's artificial. It was imposed on us. And it's up to us to see clearly how it was imposed on us and how some of us continue to perpetuate that system. Okay, in the way that we think, in the way that we act, and we can liberate ourselves in order to help liberate others as well. And the liberation that others are achieving, how that helps us, and how we are to be, how are we to align with the best and highest good of all when it comes to freeing ourselves from false institutions and growing from this experience, growing into the new way of being without that top-down hierarchy, supremacist kind of stuff. I'm not trying to get political. What? No, maybe it is political. I'm giving this message because this is the message I'm receiving, okay? Let me know how this resonates for you. But this is about getting into touch with, yes, the magician, ancient teachings that you are receiving messages, Mercury. You could have Mercury in Taurus. And you know, this could make you feel anxious. This could make you feel pushed. You're feeling a push, and it might be uncomfortable. It might make you feel nervous. You might be worried about bringing this down to earth because maybe it feels a little far out. Maybe it's going against, look at that, authority, emperor. Maybe there is this hierarchical authority that you don't really want to go against. Or this is you manifesting your own power. And it can be a little intimidating. It can be a little scary for some people. But for others, I don't think I have to give that message. I think a lot of us are finding that this power feels right. It feels good. It feels like we are aligned with our best and highest good and the best and highest good for all involved. We are bringing these ideas down to earth. We are getting the message. We are making it real. This is also Aries energy. This is very masculine, extroverted, assertive energy. We are taking these teachings and we are asserting ourselves. We are being activating this message on earth in a very practical way. We aren't just thinking about it. We're not even just speaking on it. We are acting. We are translating these teachings into direct action in our everyday lives. The things that we choose to do, how we choose to spend our money, the kinds of organizations that we are a part of, the businesses that we run or the businesses that we work for. We're making conscious decisions about how do we use our power? What is legitimate power? What is the legitimate use of authority? And when is authority valid and when is it invalid? Those are some questions that we are grappling with in our community, in our lives. And yeah, maybe some of it is political. Like for a second, even I was like, oh, I don't really want to get political about it. You know what I mean? I'm not comfortable. But that's okay. We should say, okay, I'm not comfortable, and then maybe analyze why that is. Think about why that is. Is this discomfort rooted in a long-standing tradition of not being allowed to speak our mind, not being recognized? Maybe it is. And maybe we start to impose that on ourselves because it's been thousands of years of this oppression and hierarchy that tells us we don't deserve to have a voice. And it's so deeply ingrained in us that we say it to ourselves, oh, I don't want to get political. And where does that come from? It's from feeling like you don't deserve to have a voice. Why do you feel like you don't deserve to have a voice? Is it because somebody drilled it into your head and now, like, is society in the room with us right now? No, it's me and you, and we're talking about taking our power back and saying, you know what, actually, I do deserve to have a voice. I have a voice and I'm going to use it. And here's how I'm going to use it. Okay, let's get some more cards. This is powerful, powerful manifestation. Having all of the tools inside within yourself that you need to make this change, okay? We are 8 of Cups. We're not doing lazy anymore. We're not doing fear anymore. We are walking away from what no longer serves us. We are leaving behind what is no longer in alignment with our higher purpose, with the purpose of our life on earth. And if we don't know what that purpose is, then we're walking away to find it. We are going on that hero's journey. We are seeking our answers. We are seeking that wish, not just a wish fulfillment, because that implies something a little bit smaller than what this energy is suggesting to me today. We are seeking that higher calling if we don't know what it is already. And if we do know what it is, then we are activating that calling in our everyday, day-to-day life, in the decisions that we make, the people that we associate with, the companies that we buy from, the places where we work, conscious decisions to do the right thing, or at least do what we can in alignment with those long-term goals. Wish fulfillment is part of it, but that's like the small scale. And you know what? Maybe the small scale, small things are good too. I don't want to discount that, because it's those small steps that we take that can lead to that wider change, that bigger change, the bigger things, right? So it's just taking one step at a time, putting one foot into the front of the other to get to where we're going. Every journey, I just heard, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So we can't get to 1,000 miles without taking the first step. So I see you taking the first step in a journey that really, it lasts a lifetime, and it defines who you are and what your life means. This is heavy stuff. This is big, but you know, that's what it's all about. Okay, Knight of Swords. I hear debate. I hear argument, rushing in, protest, speaking up, speaking loud, being very fierce and fearless. I almost heard flawless as well. Somebody is really good at speaking, public speaking. Maybe this is part of your calling. You're being called to raise your voice and speak your mind and speak the truth and communicate what it is that you've learned with these, fearlessly communicating from a place of authority and power, using your position of power, if you've already got one, to fulfill this purpose, speaking this truth, speaking your truth. All right, but I see with the Seven of Pentacles, it's only a matter of time, first of all, before you do this, before this takes off, before you launch this campaign. Are you political? Are you politically active? Okay, well, in any case, two things. First of all, it's only a matter of time before what you've been working on starts to bear fruit. Trust the process. You are doing it. You're on the right path. You've put in a lot of work already, but you're waiting. Sometimes in the process, we have to take a pause, take a step back and say, okay, I've done what I can for now. Now I have to let things take its natural course, because I can't force a flower to bloom. I planted the seed. I watered the seed. I watched it grow. I protected it from predators. I protected it from pests. You know, I got the bugs off of it or whatever. And I gave it plenty of sunshine, plenty of space to grow. I've nurtured this plant, and now I'm sitting back, I'm standing back, and I'm watching it bloom. I can't bloom for it. I can't push it to bloom any faster than it's going to. There is a natural process involved. Progress takes time. So there's also this idea of assessing the situation, analyzing the situation, assessing the work that you've already done, taking stock of how far you've come and how much you've put into this. There's something analytical about it. It's like, okay, so you take some steps, you put that energy out there, you speak your truth, and then you step back and you say, okay, now what happened? How did it go? How did it go? How was I received? What is the response to what I have done? Taking a step back, analyzing ourselves, analyzing and assessing ourselves, and how effective are we at speaking our truth? How effective are we at putting one foot in front of the other? And how far have we come? How far do we have left to go? What kind of progress have we made? What kind of progress do we want to make from here on out? What is the goal? Has the goal changed? Have we changed our understanding? Has our mind changed at all? Have we learned anything new? How can we integrate this new learning into what we're doing? There could also be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius involved here. I get Mercury, so it could be Gemini. I want to read an affirmation for the Seven of Pentacles. So let me just open that up real quick. The affirmation is this: I have the courage to believe that all that happens in my life serves for the best. I have the courage to believe that all that happens in my life serves for the best. All right, I love that. That's about having trust. Trusting the process, trusting that it's going to work out, that you know what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing, and that this is the right thing to do, and that this is the higher purpose and the higher calling for your life. Okay, I'm also going to read a little bit for the Knight of Swords, because I feel like it. This is creative thinking, cutting through all entanglements, becoming free of limited ideas and models, clear perception, walking away, becoming free, clearing your mind, and having the courage to assert yourself, knowing that this is for the best. It says, my creative possibilities have no limits. limitless creativity. You are not limiting yourself to old ways of thinking and doing things. You are manifesting a new way for yourself, for others. That's what liberation is all about. My creative possibilities have no limits. Question: what beliefs, feelings, relationships, or programmed ideas do you allow to limit you? We want to think, well, I don't let anything stop me. I don't let anything limit me. But maybe we can take a step back and assess that situation. And, you know, there might be something, some ways in which we are still allowing certain things to hold us back. And maybe it's time to unleash that creative potential and just flow and free ourselves and almost like charging forward into exactly what it is we know we're supposed to be doing. The indications here says, free yourself from whatever limits your mind and spirit. But be sure you express your ideas and plans in ways that other people will understand. Accept their opinions humbly. Your thinking may be way ahead of its time, but you can adjust to make your vision workable in the present without sacrificing anything. That's a message. So when you're expressing your truth, you want to make sure you're doing it in such a way that other people can understand, because you need them to understand. Because if you're bringing that guidance down to earth, you need to teach it to others. That's the purpose of this whole thing, teaching that guidance, teaching those things to others, guiding others. But if they can't understand you because you're way ahead of your time, then you need to figure out how you can articulate this stuff without really sacrificing the meaning of your words, but making it just a little bit more accessible to your audience. So it's like playing the room. You know, you're playing the room. You're speaking to your audience, knowing who your audience is, understanding their language, speaking their language so that they can understand you. Bringing this stuff down to earth in such a way that your students will understand what you're saying, because it's your responsibility as a teacher to translate that and bring that down to earth. That's your responsibility. As a ruler, you rule to serve. You serve to rule, that sort of thing. Ruling them is to serve them. So you have this authority because you're meant to have this responsibility to serve. It's not about your rights and your privileges. It's about your responsibilities to others, to the people who look up to you for guidance, who need you to bring these things down to earth. That's your job. So making sure that you're clear and articulate and assessing whether or not you're doing an effective job is all a part of taking responsibility for what is yours to do. Okay. Well, that was powerful. That's what I've got for us today. That's our message. This has just been a message for whoever needed to hear it. I felt called to do that, and so I did. I hope this was clear and effective communication, and I hope this was of service. I hope this is helpful to you. If you'd like a personal reading, I've got some information in the description box below, but in any case, I want to say thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye.